I'm on a nice walk with Buddy, and I thought I'd use the opportunity to give you a little update about Winston's health. Hello, if you're new to this channel, you found us by accident. My name's Matt, and I have two dogs, Winston and Buddy. Winston is our 8.5-year-old pug. We've actually had him since a puppy, so 8 weeks old. I also thought, seeing as I named 2025 the year of vlogging for us, and I've not done any really, that we would take a moment to just talk about where Winston is with his health and kind of things coming up over the next few months for us. So we noticed a couple of months ago that Winston's back legs were a little bit wobbly, and before going on holiday to Scotland at the beginning of May, we took him to the vets to get him looked at. His legs weren't bad, we just noticed that they were kind of a little bit lazy, and sometimes when he was running across the sofa at home, he might lose his footing, or when he's out walking, they just kind of feel like they're swaying around a bit. So we took him to the vets and they had a look. On our first appointment with the vet, they basically thought he had a cruciate damage on his ankle. And that's because they manipulated one of his ankles, his left leg I think it was, and he had a little grumble, a little growl when they were moving things around. So they gave us some painkillers, some carpadryl for about 10 days that we took with us to Scotland. We did moderate exercise with him as instructed, and we were hoping that was going to be the end of it. But sadly it wasn't, and it's kind of continued to linger, this little wobbly legs that he has. We also noticed in May that he had a poo a couple of times in the kitchen. Nothing like bad, but you know, he'd be waiting for his breakfast barking, and then a couple of little nuggets would shoot out the back. So there's a couple of things going on that maybe suggested that Winston wasn't in his prime health. So we went back to the vets at the beginning of June and asked them the same question. What do they think about his back legs? What do they think was going on? And one of the vets did this quite nifty little test where they stood him on the table and put a piece of paper under one of his back legs, and they just slid it across the table. And what they noticed is that it took him about 2 or 3 seconds to correct that his leg was moving. In contrast, if they grabbed his front leg, he immediately snatched it back and put it back to where it should be. So there was definitely a delay happening between really the sensation of his back legs and then any form of correction. The vet wasn't overly concerned, at least she didn't say she was, but she did say she was nosy, and that if we were able to afford it or whether we had insurance, we should probably get it looked at. So they gave us a referral to a neurologist. Luckily Winston is fully insured, so it wasn't a big concern, and we had a referral to the Royal Veterinary College to get things examined. That appointment was early last week, and Winston stayed overnight and had a CT scan and an MRI to have a look at what was going on. The neurologist had said to us up front that there could be a couple of things causing this, and none sounded particularly great. After the CT and MRI, we got the diagnosis of myelopathy. That basically means that his spinal cord is being compressed, and over time he is losing sensation in his back legs, and anything really from that point down along his spinal cord. It also means that in time he will get incontinent, he'll lose control of his bowel, his bladder, his tail goes droopy, and he'll be unable to walk at all using his back legs. Sadly, this isn't all that uncommon in pugs. This isn't a forum that I want to use to discuss the ethics of breeding pugs. We would never buy another pug puppy. I'd love to rehome one. It's a lesson I think we've learned. And Winston is an incredible dog, so anyone telling me otherwise is going to get a swift ban. The problem with the myelopathy is it's not something we can reverse. It's also not easy to treat, or to manage, is maybe a better phrase. The vet suggested that we start with a course of steroids. We'll take those every day for 6 to 8 months, but that we should expect diminishing returns, and over time that those steroids will be less and less effective. And the purpose of those steroids is quite simple: to reduce the inflammation of the swelling around his spinal cord, which is essentially constricting it and causing that lack of sensation. He also suggested there was a surgical route that we could go down, but that is complicated. There's no guarantee that it will go well, and if we do the surgery and it doesn't go well, we essentially have accelerated the whole thing, and potentially paralysing Winston from the waist down, with all the bad things like incontinence that come with that. The problem is, like I said, we also can't reverse stuff. We can only halt or slow the progress. So if we delay the surgery for too long and he loses those sensation both in his legs and the incontinence, we're never going to recover that. So we do need to make a decision about surgery, knowing that if we do it too early and it goes wrong, that he might not be able to walk using his back legs, or we decide to do it too late and it is successful, but actually all the things we're trying to avoid have already happened anyway. We're not in any major rush. We have a few months to think about this, and if on the off chance you have a pug and you're watching this, a pug with myelopathy no less, I would love your thoughts and opinions. Winston is still mobile, he is still walking around, so yeah, I would love to get some more input about what the right thing could be to do for Winston. We're also starting physio soon and laser therapy on his spine, so some alternative treatments to help with muscle structure. According to the physio this morning, he can actually be carrying quite a lot of tension in his front legs to overcompensate, which could cause him a bit of pain and mischief, so he'll get little puggy massages, he'll get some physio. We're also looking at hydrotherapy, so a whole bunch of stuff to try and improve Winston's quality of life with this condition, but it is a bit of a head scratcher for us. I do think we'll give it a little update in a couple of weeks when we start the physio and the laser therapy and let you know how we're getting on. But for now, just thought I'd give you an update on the dogs, let you know that we're all well. One of the questions I do get is he in pain? And no, it is the absence of pain that is the problem. He has got a lack of sensation, so he doesn't know really what's going on, or should I say, doesn't have an issue with what's going on. He's kind of doing very well in himself. Winston is remarkably resilient. Yeah, we'll do what we can for him, and I know he'll take the rest in his stride. But yeah, and genuinely cool. If you do have a pug or have had a pug that's had myelopathy, I would love your input. Reach out, either comment on here, drop us a note on Instagram. Our email is on the account. I'd love to hear from you, good or bad. I believe fully informed is the best way, so please let us know. And let's finish on something positive. Come on, bud, come here! Big idiot inbound. Oh, good boy. Say hi to everyone. Say bye to everyone. Good boy.